that yes, this is such a vibrant forum, and it is taking shape very well under the, of course, the leadership of the Akhilesh Srivastava and the great mentoring day to day from the VN Purisa. He is our co-chair and the director of the AITB. The members has been giving us support from time to time, and I'll give you incidents which will again surprise. So before that, let me once again welcome each and everyone to this annual summit. We will have some technical sessions on the safety, security and the sustainability of the ideas. Initially we planned that we should have a brainstorming session that how the ideas can take a shape in India, and we thought it will require more time or to have an in-depth brainstorming session. And then subsequently we changed the theme to keep it light comparatively in the paucity of the time. So in order to welcome, first I'll request Sachin Bhattacharya. He is one of our director and the key member. Can you come and welcome VN Purisa with a flower bouquet? Simran? Now, I request, we have here a fraternity from the IETE also. IETE, you must be knowing, the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers is a professional body into the electronics and telecommunication with a huge base of the membership. We have our past president here, Lieutenant General A.K. Chandile sir. I request General Chandile sir to come forward and welcome our newly
That's interesting.
the president who has just taken over in the IT is Sunil sir. Sunil sir has been the Additional Director General of the Prasar Bharati. He is also the president of the BS Broadcast Engineering Society. He is also the vice chairman of the Asia Pacific Broadcast Union, one of the largest union in the world. So, we have a government officer, RS Sensor. Please come forward. And he is a Deputy Director General of the Telecom Engineering Center and the man who is leading Intelligent Transportation System in the Department of Telecom. I'll request him to come forward and I'll request Akashi to facilitate him with the flower bouquet. It's my again the immense pleasure, and I'll request now our President ITS India, Sri Akhilesh ji, to set the tone for our today's discussion. and give a brief on the market update, what is happening. Then before that, he will give the update on the ITS India, how it was formed, what was the concept of the formation, how it has moved forward in a 1-year journey, what are the key achievements, credentials, and what are our plans for the forum. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shiv, and very warm welcome to everyone who came here and my friends who have joined online. As it says, you keep on planning the things, it may happen, may not happen. But sudden spark sometimes makes the thing happen, and probably that's how the civilizations move on. We were sitting in one of the conference few years back. Some of our founding members were there. Sachin Vidhanvinga, Mr. Venkat, Akash Sinha, and a few more people. We were sitting in Bombay. There was a day-long conference going on the intelligent transport system and all. But the speakers and the people were mostly from the out of abroad. They were telling us what to do, what should be the technology, and that was that time this idea sparked. That I'm just sharing an example. Somebody from Singapore, he was advocating us how to take the ideas forward, what should be the idea, and the number of vehicles in Singapore, when he said it is some 990,000 vehicles, less than a million. Do you know in India we have how many vehicles on the road? So 360 million vehicles are registered on the road. And we were learning some lessons from smaller countries with less than a million, what should be done. So we were just sitting in the evening, and this idea sparked. That why not we create a forum, a think tank of people. We have enough experts available here, and let's steer the thing in a more Indian-specific way instead of simply following or copy pasting the things from other countries. And that's what our Prime Minister also says, that it's a time that we should create our India aspects and let the world follow our Indian specifications all. So this sudden spark led to the start of the journey. We created ITS India Forum, and now, and this is exactly a year back. I started few months. We spent time into taking various regulatory compliances, like it's a NGO, is a not-profit organization. So we have to register to various places. That we have to obtain licenses like non-profit organization, ATG, 12A, and all those things. So it took a couple of months. Actually, we started our journey with under the guidance of Mr. B.N. Puri. I met him first time. Mr. Puri is the director of Asian Institute of Transport Development, AITD, which is situated in Sector 9, Gorka. Prior to taking over director, Mr. Puri was the principal advisor at NITI Aayog and has over 4 decades of experience into the transportation sector itself. Knowing and I would be happy to share with the people a little more about him. What we see this Bharat Mala or the Golden Triangle program, he was the person who in fact drafted the note of that, took the cabinet approval, had number of meetings with the then Prime Minister, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and took forward. Then the thing, so he knows the transportation in very, very in depth. So, and I happened to meet him in one of the conference on the road safety organized by AITD, and I was one of the speakers. When I told him about it, he said, this is one of the things I was, since decades I was thinking, this is a time that transportation should be merged with technology, and your ITS is a fantastic thing. And I'm very happy to give my guidance, leverage my experience to it, and let's take it forward. that encouraged us, and we had our first meeting on 10th of January, attended by other people, and then we also are fortunate. So once you start, people keep on coming together, and I will say, karma banta jayega. So somebody came with us, Traffic Infratech, who organizes the biggest, I will say Asia's biggest conferences or the expo. Almost this year also they are doing it, but now this change in this year, we are also collaborating with them. We are partnered with them in Pragati Maidan. So every year they do. They are one of the biggest. They got a magazine which has the traffic. Magazine name is Traffic Tech. So they are automatically. I mean, Suomoto became our media partner. And the magazine is having a reach of almost 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, I was told. So it reaches to almost every ITS personnel or the traffic related people. So we didn't go to them, they automatically came forward and said. So I'm just saying the good fortune were also helping us to take it forward. And that's how we started, and I'll just share my presentation, some slides, how we, what we did in last 1 year and what more we wanted to do. We had some of the presentations, roundtable conferences. These are certain few photos of this. Let me just tell what was the objective. That was the journey, how we started this forum. But what was the overarching objective which drives all of us? Basically, we want to have two things. One, the safety and the convenience is mandatory. So the government of India is building a lot of roads, rail networks and other things, but the things are not exactly reaching to the people as it should be, as it is desired. So there is some missing gap. That is generally in developed countries and everywhere is filled by ITS. So that's one thing, commuter safety and convenience. Second is the logistic competitiveness. The logistic cost in India is still higher, making our Make India product not very competitive in the global market in comparison to our other neighboring countries. So that's another, and futuristic solutions like mobility as a service. These were the basic objectives on this which we are working. It is ITS India Forum is a non-profit think tank. Our members are all voluntarily joining it. There is no remuneration to anybody except certain office staff. There is no inclination. It's a neutral body promoting the ITS growth into the country. Our members come from the industries, academia. Almost 10 IITs are already our knowledge partners. They have MOUs with us. We have 2 IIMs, IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore as our knowledge members. Policy makers, we are very fortunate that we get good policy support from the NITI Aayog. In fact, we are helping them to draft ITS national policy for India. We are very closely working with MOD and Department of Telecommunication. As you can see, very senior officers are here. Mr. Aris Singh is there, Amit Ji is there. Both are DDGs and one more senior officer is there. We are also closely working with MITI. So those are it's not that the first time ITS is something new we are invented. The government was already working, different departments are also working on it, but they were working in the silos. So, for example, BT has made some policy on ITS which has no sync with the policy made by the MOD. Similarly, DOT, they made a policy on V2X or on a satellite cloning also, which has no sync with the MOD policy. Similarly, MOD, so those things were in silos, and that's what we are trying to do, create a platform where everybody comes and then these recommendations, the policy things are filtered by the academia and the experts and given forward. So the government of India, you see the expenditure last year was 11 lakh rupees were invested into the infrastructure development. That comprises 3 lakh in the road, 2.5 lakh into the railways, civil aviation, shipping, everything you put together, it's the biggest budget. So almost 11 trillion Indian rupees were invested. And now to actually take this, we require an interface between the customer and the technology interface. That is the ITS technologies we are performing. Our mission is, we have kept very simple. It's working with the different experts, policy advocacy and raising public awareness, global and local collaboration. We have collaboration with almost all ITS globally. ITS UK, ITS Australia, ITS Asia Pacific, ITS almost all the ITS forums which are available. Either we have signed MOU with them, like very recently we got another MOU from ITS Italy and Germany. So gradually, maybe in next 6 months, we'll be having a official written MOU with all these forums. And locally also, we are having association with SIAM, National Highway Builder Federation, Highway Operators of India, Smart Mobility, Smart City. So all these local forums or NGOs, we are having collaboration with them apart from the academia. And third thing which we are trying to do is promoting the research and innovation. The research and innovation, we are helping the ITs with the industry requirement, what actually industry want to be researched. And there we are giving them topics so their research are synced to the market. As well as once it matures, we do pilot. We are facilitating to do pilot to make it a market ready research. For example, we are doing India's first pilot on cellular to vehicle to X connectivity, CV2X, where in Bangalore we are providing a green corridor on 10 junctions where ambulance can pass through without any human intervention. Just when the moment ambulance approaches to a junction, the junction automatically senses it through RSU and one OBU fitted in the ambulance and turns the light green, even when the ambulance is far away, and the clean passage is given. No need of having another infrastructure or anything, and no human intervention. Similarly, we are promoting safe driving score to improve the road safety. A few pilots more are in pipeline. I'll talking. The working pillars are, as I said, policy advocacy, research support, awareness campaign, and skill development. In the skill development, very soon we'll be coming up with the certificate courses. That will be starting from 2 days to 15 days. 2 days for the CEOs and the top management. Because when we spoke to the people, when we go to the market, we found that there is a lot of gap in the skills. Understanding the top management, understand what is the ITS and how it's going to be helpful, probably it will not become a mass movement what we desire to be. So we are coming up with a few short-term courses, certificate courses. For this, we are trying. One is we will be going with AITT, and then we'll also with the South Asian University, properly known as SARC University. With this, I also had opportunity to talk to a few global universities, like I was in Imperial College. I spoke to them. I'm also talking to my alma mater there in US universities. There again, they are trying to. We are trying to collaborate and do advanced executive MBA or MTech kind of course over there. So those are some of the achievements. Very briefly, I will not take much time to. We'll be listening to some of the speakers who are going to present for a few minutes. But I will take this opportunity to just advise everyone. We are drafting helping Niti Aayog in drafting the comprehensive policy. ITS India World Congress was a historic debut, first time. This was 30th World Congress in globally in Dubai. Until 29, there was no representation of India. This year we made our India Pavilion, which was most visited, one of the most visited place in that entire conference. And first time we showcased our innovative solutions to the world, and it was very mesmerizing. Some of our members, they will vouch for it. We are already doing a pilot, which will be another pilot in the pipeline very soon. That this will start. We have collaborated with almost all the global formations, many roundtable conference to engage the industry in a more third thing which we are trying to do is promoting the research and innovation. The research and innovation, like we are helping the ITs with the industry requirement, what actually industry want to be researched, and there we are giving them topics so their research are synced to the market, as well as once it matures, we do pilot. We are facilitating to do pilot to make it a market ready research. For example, we are doing India's first pilot on cellular to vehicle to X connectivity, CV2X, where in Bangalore we are providing a green corridor on 10 junctions where ambulance can pass through without any human intervention. Just when the moment ambulance approaches to a junction, the junction automatically senses it through RSU and one OBU fitted in the ambulance and turns the light green, even when the ambulance is far away, and the clean passage is given. No need of having another infrastructure or anything, and no human intervention. Similarly, we are promoting on safe driving score to improve the road safety. A few pilots more are in pipeline. I'll talking. The working pillars are, as I said, policy advocacy, research support, awareness campaign, and skill development. In skill development, very soon we'll be coming up with the certificate courses. That will be starting from 2 days to 15 days. 2 days for the CEOs and the top management. Because when we spoke to the people, when we go to the market, we found that there is a lot of gap in the skills. Understanding the top management, understand what is the ideas and how it's going to be helpful, probably it will not become a mass movement what we desire to be. So we are coming up with a few short-term courses, certificate courses. For this, we are trying. One is we will be going with AITT, and then we'll also with the South Asian University, properly known as SARC University. With this, I also had opportunity to talk to few global universities. Like I was in Imperial College, I spoke to them. I'm also talking to my alma mater there in US universities. There again, they are trying to. We are trying to collaborate and do advanced executive MBA or MTech kind of course over there. So those are some of the achievements. Very briefly, I will not take much time to. We'll be listening to some of the speakers who are going to present for a few minutes. But I will take this opportunity to just advise everyone. We are drafting the helping NITI Aayog in drafting the comprehensive policy. ITS India World Congress was a historic debut. First time. This was 30th World Congress in globally in Dubai. Until 29, there was no representation of India. This year, we made our India Pavilion, which was most visited, one of the most visited place in that entire conference. And first time we showcased our innovative solutions to the world, and it was very mesmerizing. Some of our members, they will vouch for it. We are already doing a pilot, which will be another pilot in the pipeline very soon. That this will start. We have collaborated with almost all the global formations, many roundtable conference to engage the industry in a more focused. It's not like government committee which is headed by the government. No, it's we want input from the bottom-up approach. What we have taken, that industry should give input. We will of course filter, and a neutral recommendation will be there. So standing committees to look into these vertical wise and international conferences there. At shorter courses, I already explained, will be in October this year, 22nd to 25th. We have collaborated as a partner with the Traffic Infratech, and we are organizing conferences and workshops jointly at Pragati Maidan. I request people to join over there. And apart from this, our monthly webinars, seminar, podcast, they are very popular and viral. In future, what we are trying to do, the safe driving school, just like civil school, to create a consciousness among the people about I welcome Sunil Sinha sir, advisor Niti Aayog. So I was just talking about the board and we just started. And we are very thankful to sir that he graced us with his presence, and he always encourages. And the policy drive which I was mentioning, it was sir's initiative that we want industry input and we want to know what are the best global practices. The policy should be vibrant with these inputs from the industry, and that's what we are doing. We are Safe Driving School. This platform will be coming up very soon, where like civil school, people can check their driving score, and that's one of the reason. The low driving score means the driver is not as good. They require some training, and that also that AI platform will tell where they lack, which part of their driving behavior requires correction. So that's the another thing, and we hope that it should be popular and people should use it, their SDS, for more value additions like higher the SDS means that he or she is a better driver, and they can get some rebate into insurance premium. They can get some rebate or some in the purchase of like in some countries are there. So some incentive can be linked to it that will create a good consciousness in the people about maintaining a higher score, following the traffic regulation more and more. We'll be focusing on the standardization and interoperability because as I said that it's time that we should create India-specific ITS standard rather than copying the global other, because our requirements are entirely different. We are densely populated country with large population, different climate zones in a country, so we require something our own homegrown solution, and this is time with all the experts available here to take it forward. Skill development and executive education, as I said, in the pipeline very soon we'll be starting it. We are also planning to start ITS reward. So next AGM, I'm happy to share with you all, we'll be having a big function at some larger place, and there we'll be awarding to the people who are performing best into the ITS. This process will start soon. We'll put a jury and everything, all those online processes, and take it forward. And we'll of course showcase our presence in the global events as well, like Atlanta. There is the next ITS World Congress is in Atlanta, and already ITS USA has booked us. They said no, we want ITS India presence should be here. So we said in fact Dr. Shivami said we'll come back, we'll talk to our members and no, I mean it's USA, but they said nothing doing. The slot is booked. I know the Indian companies will be definitely coming. So that's kind of buying for the Indian ecosystem is there in the world, and it's a very proud moment when some people are so excited about the Indian ecosystem. So these are the few things I just want the ITS in next few years coming up. So we jotted down this list. One is the connected vehicle or CV2X, the thing which we will be discussing. Then multimodal mobility and the drone, that's coming up in a very, very big way. So the best use of drone is, apart from the farming and other, is going to reshape the mobility. ADAS system, now it's very soon it will be mandatory in the vehicle. IoT and then their physical security. Some of our members are already here working on it. The traffic management system, the ATMS, ITMS, they are going to be now AI and machine learning driven with the deep learning. Yesterday we were in one conference where the pedestrian movement can be tracked and alert can be generated with that. A lot of advancement are already happening. Satellite-based tolling, we have an expert to speak on this. India is soon coming up with going to be the first country in the world which will be coming up with the satellite-based tolling. That's again a matter of pride for all of us. Safe driving is core, which I said. Now this concept we started 2 years back for a different project, but now this has taken a global shape. I was talking to in one of the international conference, they were asking about the safe driving score. And again, AI camera, LiDAR with the deep learning as a surrogate measures to tell about the road safety for the congestion management or on traffic management. Transportation data lake and big data, and that's next big thing going to happen, where entire mobility things will be put into a data lake. And then that will pave way for the ultimately mobility as a service mass. Maybe distance from now a decade or so, but the way technology is shaping or moving fast, it will be. And we'll be also exploring some innovative funding options, because the IT solutions technology changes very fast. So blocking money, capex into one technology solution may not be a very good idea. So we should have a open-ended thing where vendor has a flexibility to change whenever it is required based on the new technologies. So that's all I want to say. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome Anil Chikaraji. He is Special Transport Commissioner of Delhi. Now he is advising various government.
And add a little bit on the ITS Association history. So I would like to highlight that it's not just been a one-year effort, but our industry members, me, Akash and all, since 2012, we've been trying to form this association, and we had it in various formats, but it could never take off. It was only when we had a dynamic leader like Akhilesh ji and the kind of team that he set up that things could take off. So it has been, last 1 year has been the effort and dream of the industry for last 11-12 years. And I have documented evidence of various failed formats which couldn't take off. Thank you so much, Akhilesh sir, for taking this initiative, and the team, fantastic team that you have set up.
Thanks, Sachin. So without taking much time, I will request Mr. Puri for his keynote address.
Before I give my views and my take on ITS, I would like to thank Akhilesh for a very generous introduction. And he talked about how we have started it and how it has reached at the level which is at the moment is. But he didn't complete what he wanted to say. And that reminds me of, from his words, that मजलू सुल्तानपुरी's couplet, मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल, लोग आते रहे, कारवां चलता रहा. So that is what I think Mr. Sachin said, what he has said. I think that sums up the whole thing in this particular Majlu Sultanpuri's couplet. Having said that, I will speak on one or two things on the policy issues, and as also on what he has mentioned about NHTP and all that. That is an anecdote which I like to share with you. You see, when this was announced, NHTP, by Mr. Bajpai in FICCI conference, he set up a committee at that time in the planning commission, making us responsible for implementing and drafting the projects. And what he said, and if you remember his words, he said from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and Silchar to some place in Rajasthan. So that was some sort of angles within the thing, but not quadrangle itself. So we said what we need is capacity augmentation in golden quadrilateral, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai. At that time, our deputy chairman was Mr. Jaswant Singh. He called me, he said, okay, this is what agenda is. I want a very good ACR from my boss, that is Mr. Bajpai. So he said, have you read it? I said, yes, but we should concentrate on golden quadrilateral first. He felt very annoyed on that. But ultimately, to cut the story short, we went and met the secretary to PM. He said, all right, we make this NHDP 1 and what Mr. Bajpai said become NHDP 2. So that is how the things have started, and there are other things very much we have done. And it was a remarkable journey at that time, remarkable step this has taken. And what we see today is, I think, of Mr. Bajpai, to whom I owe great, great respect. Very, very good statesman. Now let me talk about ITS. As Mr. Klesh mentioned, that it was, I thought, and Sachin also mentioned about 10 years. The same story starts with me. I was thinking every time, I used to tell our PM and deputy chairman, that was Mutesh Sivalwali at that time, that building only 4-lane or 6-lane or freight corridor will not do the things. You have to go beyond that, and then started what we called as logistic policy, logistic group, of which I happen to be the member secretary. We drafted the report, and that is how we start moving towards ITS. Because only thinking is, the whole thing is 65% of cost is transportation is big, but logistics is the main part. That is how it started. Then again an opportunity came in my way. That time, National Transport Development Policy Committee, I was made member secretary. So what we submitted to the Prime Minister, agenda for that, I included ITS in the form of communication, information, technology, application to transportation. If you see that chapter is there. Then everybody in the government asked me, how would you do it? We don't have expertise in that area. I mean, in the government itself, very few people were there at that time. Now we have experts. Then we took the help of Infosys. Infosys helped us in drafting that particular chapter and how this ITS came this way. So, gentlemen and ladies, this was a dream we have in ITS, a dream to fulfill, a dream to be taken to the logical conclusions. And as they say, the things, anything does not come easily. And it's a dream. You can imagine the efforts will be required, but we do have the people, the Klesh and his team. They have very wide shoulders. You can see, although to some extent we have blown our trumpet when we spoke about achievement, but it's a reality. It's a shoulder which they have borne such a particular responsibility. Destiny and things have particularly put him on his shoulder, and we delivered it. And we are grateful to all of your support in this regard. Before I end, I will like to add one or two things. We have a group. WhatsApp group consists of Mr. Chikara from that group. We have discussions in that group on two issues. One is in the recent times. They discussed a lot. Everybody is there. I believe you can say industry people, but there are a lot of people are there who are expert, better than I am. They were discussing about two things. One is recently, one is on the cost of accidents. This is the one thing they were discussing. And they said this is 3%. And we also talked about 3% and all that. Incidentally, this 3% came again in the planning commission when we did the study and took it forward. But 3% means 5 trillion rupees annually we lose in the accidents. But this will not cut ice with the policymaker, let me tell you. This looks very good. In the discussion which happened there, people said, yes, why the government is not doing it. This logic can apply anywhere. And when we did the study, you will be surprised to know that the cost, socio-economic cost in USA was 4%. And when we took this thing to Cabinet Secretary, and rightly said that there are so many other things we have to do. So this is the one area which we keep on talking. And what is required is that we should, government doesn't have the money to give us the tolls and all that. So what we have to do in ITS, we need not to argue on those lines. Yes, this is very good. You keep on telling these things that this is 3% and all that. That is fine. And incidentally, this study done by the World Bank, with the help of World Bank, that showed only 0.62%. So these are the things, you see, you can change the methodology and come out with some other figures. So that is the point which I want to make here is, we do have a dream, but we will not take that course for this fulfillment of dream as it looks dream to others. We'll take it a very practical approach, and that is what we think. That's why Akhilesh has involved the industry people. It should come from the below, and industry should be online. And government, I think, Mr. Sinha is here, he may elaborate more. I am a little bit more forthright. Might give some sort of funding in terms of viability gap or something like that, because the nascent industry argument can be given in India, but we can't keep on harping on that 3% cost and because of this and that. This is one example. There are other things which are discussed. I don't want to take much time. Therefore, the message is that we should be putting up the proposals to the government, take them as a facilitating arm for setting up an ITS system in this country with the funding which will come from within the setup itself. That will be more acceptable and that will be more readily agreeable. Rest of the things will follow. I think we have a good team. We have a lot of support with this thing. We have support from the team. And I am sure that success will be the path of our road, so sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I have a question. Welcome our chief guest and illustrate him to the power podium. I request one by one to just introduce yourself so that some of us may not be knowing. So please, one by one. Very brief, sir.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I'm Shraddhanand. I'll be looking after cyber security and privacy in this forum and whatever value addition I can give. I've been working in cyber security space for more than 15 years. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Puran Chandra Pandey. I have worked for the governments in a couple of countries, including latest one being in Taipei, where I was helping the government of Taiwan with regard to transportation, sustainability, and climate change. I've just joined in South Asian University as one of the directors on climate change, green transition, and sustainability. And I'll be around to help ITS in whatever way we can. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akash Sinha. I am the CEO of Texidel India. We are one of the system integrators, and I'm also working for the GNSS part for ITS India Forum. Fortunately, I'm one of the core member of this forum who started this.
Hi, my name is Mohit Mahesh. I represent IT Systems Limited. We are one of the pioneers in weighing motion for overturning aircraft, and we've been there in the country for the last 4 decades, and remote solutions for weighing for.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lieutenant General from Radio Retired. I am with Geospatial World, which is a knowledge company of almost 3 decades vintage. And we evangelize the adoption of geospatial technologies in every sector of human endeavor, whether it is agriculture, energy, water, infrastructure, and transportation. And we are looking forward to having an arrangement with this organization so that we can work collaboratively in the field of intelligent transformations. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Babulal. I was with DHA looking after operations, strategy, and the last I was planning and development. I was heading the planning and development. Besides that, I am a faculty in the management schools, taking care of innovation and entrepreneurship and strategic management. Now I am
I am working as Deputy General Manager at DSMR in Corporate Office Delhi School. I am fortunate to have been part of Dr. Kumar, and that is a very one of the country's it's a basic need of each and everything. But you know that there is change about of this world and lot of change. Apart from that, I am looking after the infrastructure. And just to call information, I will implement one of the project in Kanpur for integrated IT, integrated traffic management. Therefore, one of the project for the program, and the chief minister inaugurated that project. I was involved in the red light violation and the things we have implemented. Already in operation right now in that time. It's a very good forum. I keep on learning with Dr. Shilpani.
I am I am from Communication Engineering Technical Department of Communication, and I am Deputy Director General there, looking after the multi-level part. To be confident of technical standards related to mobile technology. Good afternoon, everyone. I am CEO of a software company, on the startup, working for Ministry of Roadways, NHI, NHIDCL, National Operations for the last 3 to 4 years with the guidelines and emergency documentation. Now we are working with the anti-traffic police control for any kind of strategy that is designed for the resolution of traffic accidents. And finally, I and my team is running on and also everything of that individual traffic function, mainly specifically working on road safety. So we are making many campaigns on that. We are making road safety schools programs through our technologies also and through our various on-ground programs. Mr. Tamil refugee is from the 70 years and we will the branch government of the episode. We are running for this. My name is Vivek Agarwal and I am working with Telecom Sector Council. We are into skill development and skilling our youth and
So I want to know more about its India. So I'm thankful to Abhi sir and Dr. Kumar who is welcoming me over here. And very thankful to everyone for your support. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Professor Prema Singh and I work with different organizations as a consultant, as a road safety consultant, and I currently working as a director, Center for Road Safety Management, Nirvan University in Jaipur, where we are looking forward to provide solutions to design, to provide the education properly to all groups to have a safe and accessible, sustainable transport solutions covering SDG 3 and 11 and 17. Thank you. And I joined recently as in this ITS forum, and Akhilesh sir is also our co-chairman in Center for Road Safety Management. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Anil Chekarat, myself, and I'm a former Deputy Commissioner, Government of Delhi, Transport Department, and presently I'm providing services to Assam government for their transport department projects. And I look forward ITS forum for driving training as well as for fitness regime, automated testing system which is also introduced by Minister of Road Transport, and I believe ITS can play a big role to improve and to make it user friendly and effective. So I wish to get a lot of information from this learner group. Thank you.
My name is Praveen Mansur. I am a chartered accountant and a service. It has different from the technical part of it. My special interests are the business technologies, IT technologies. I have a special interest. And basically you can call me that I am specialist in restructuring and other things. So anything related to the cost, the money, I know I am a special type of
Hello everybody, my name is Matt Trollope. I'm the CEO of Smart City Parking Management Private India Limited. We are incorporated here in 2015. Our parent company is based in the UK, Parking Control Management UK. We're one of the leading players in parking management and enforcement industry in the UK. This is my business head, Mr. Mahesh Mundra, who's based in Delhi.
Hi everyone, I'm Sachin Bhatia. I'm the founder and CEO of Metro Infosys. We are there in tolling and intelligent transportation systems in about 8,500 kilometers of highways in India. And we've been there since almost 20 years, since the formative part of the industry. I'm also the chief storyteller of a YouTube channel called Metro Mobility Stories, where I try to bring the real people on the front and try to bridge the gap between the reality and the media. The media talks about a lot of things, they don't know the technical things, so I try to bridge that gap through this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be here, and I'm also a director of the ITS Forum.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jay Manshal. I'm director of Market Consulting. We are supporting ITS Indian Forum in their strategy and financial consulting areas. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Parikshit Guri, Vice President, ITS India Forum. I assist Mr. Akhilesh in providing strategic direction to ITS India Forum. I have got over 2 decades of rich experience in transportation, healthcare, and telecommunication, etc. sectors. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm Susan Pandey, and I'm working as a deputy manager over here and the ITS India to ITS.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take a break from the introduction, and maybe after the couple of presentations again we may go to the online friends. So please allow me to continue. Now, we say Atithi Devo Bhava. Now we have a person. He came to know that we are having our annual summit. He said, I'll come and do it in the physical. So we are so excited, and we will begin our technical session with Mr. Matthew James Toro, and we call him with love, we call him a Matt. Everybody knows him Matt. He is the CEO of the Smart City Parking Management Solution. So the need which really everybody will feel are the ones he will explain what is the solution, what is the challenges, and how he is helping to address the solution. So I request him to please, platform is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar. It's a pleasure to be here. I was very pleased when I saw the email come through that this event fell into my schedule. We arrived in Delhi last Friday evening, and so we fly back first thing in the morning. We've just been able to come to this, so it's been great. Thanks again to Dr. Kumar and to Akhilesh. We met with them last Saturday in Delhi, and also I was very pleased to be able to meet Akhilesh in London a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago, is it now?
Yeah.
So we had a nice meeting there. And when I say we, it's myself and my chairman, Mr. Ian Cordingley. So just to give you a little bit of background, we incorporated Smart City Parking Management in 2015. We've been speculating in India really since 2012. Mr. Cordingley, our founder and chairman, he introduced parking management in 1992. We had one van and 2 wheel camps and 1 car park. We now have 6,000 sites in the UK and around 500,000 car spaces. So the aim when we came to India was to bring try and bring a robust parking management and enforcement policy. And we've had that. I mean, Dr. Kumar was asking me to say a few words on the challenges that we face with enforcement, specifically in the parking industry. Here, and I would say that is the main challenge that we have, is that there isn't a robust enforcement policy in place. I've just got a few notes here from the previous presentation of ITS. In India, enforcement is traditionally with the main police. That's not the case in the UK and in most of the world, should I say. So we believe it should be handed over to a parking management company with experience and expertise. Just to give you some context, in the UK, pre the early 90s, I would say, parking enforcement was previously carried out by traffic police wardens under the criminal law, and non-payments of fines was pursued through the courts. But in September 93, parking enforcement was decriminalised, and jurisdiction handed from traffic police to local civic authorities, say like the municipal corporations. The Road Traffic Act in 1991 and the civic authorities could hire agencies to carry out parking violation civil enforcement. And it wasn't popular, but it is, in the last 30 years, I would say, it's becoming traffic congestion and pollution was reduced as a result. And just to give you an idea, last year in the English councils, I'm not talking about the whole of the UK, the English councils, the profit from parking revenue was £1 billion. 500 million of that was just London. So there is a situation here where there's a lot of revenue being missed out on, right, which can be reinvested into social projects. But it's not just about making money. It's about having order, creating order. So the challenges that we found here is that there's no illicit enforcement being implemented. The tariffs for any enforcement in place is too low. Traditionally 500 rupees. Hourly parking fees are too low and also rarely enforced. Because there's no enforcement, what we found was in Chennai district, last week, should I say, and we were down there at an area called Marine Beach, and also unveils. And there's no, if a court, they're only being charged per hour. Because there's no enforcement, the second, third, fourth, fifth hour is basically for free. We saw in Marina Beach that it was almost voluntary that we paid them. So we believe that the enforcement needs to be enforced robustly. And until it's handed over from the police to the authorities and municipal corporations, the money really is not going to the right place, in the revenue. We've seen instances as well where you may have built a multi-level car park, for instance, and to try and ease the congestion on the roads, but the pricing is not correct. It would be still cheaper. It won't be cheaper to park in the multi-level car park. It will be the same price, or there's no enforcement on the road, so nobody uses the multi-level car park. They just park for free outside. And this has created, in some cases, much more congestion than it's solved. Also, the parking fees need to be categorised per area, so the busiest areas it will be more expensive to park. So, just a little bit about enforcement itself, which traditionally would be vehicle immobilisation. We actually ticket in the UK, we've got a ticket onto the car. So something that would be enforced may be a vehicle that was found without a valid paid for a parking session, parked in a no parking zone, parked improperly in parking areas, and obstructing traffic flow or emergency services. Hourly on-street fees, as I say, have largely been ignored in India. They're now in place, but they need to be, there needs to be paid per hour parking, so that we have the increase in urban mobility. People will come and park for the length of time they need to use. If there isn't this enforcement in place, people will just spend longer, take longer, leave their cars where they shouldn't. So these are the major challenges, and I would say that the major challenge is that the parking enforcement is the domain of the police. It should be handed to the. I'm now become co-chair of the parking committee for ATS, and that's obviously one of the main things that I would like to push through this forum, and to see if this can be achieved going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more thing I would like to add is when we are talking about self-sustainable models and revenue models are concerned, and then Akhil also talked about not to utilize funds from the government rather than see how the funds can be utilized from there. Parking is one of the key pillars of the smart city P, which is actually a revenue generating model rather than a revenue consuming model. So, if one has to properly plan out with what Matt has just now told about enforcement-led parking model, that will actually help. One is to reduce congestion, keep the turnover of the vehicle out from the parking lot, and also the byproduct is the revenue part. So that's how we need to look at it and try to create a policy around it. So that's my thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. rightly said that categorization of the parking areas, the enforcement is the key. However, the concept of the parking management is to take off in India. The mindset has to come up. And in addition to the congestion, certainly it will reduce the accidents also. Thank you very much. I request Dr. Professor Pandeshwar to give a talk on how the skilling and the capacity building is needed for the ITS area. And ITS India and SARC University, that is South Asian University, we are working together to come out with a collaboration that how we can work together into this area. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm truly delighted to be here and to see Subhenduji. We are seeing each other after a long time. So it's an added, value for me being around. So thank you very much for inviting me. I will really look at ITS from two different angles. One, not that what I read in the books or somebody tells me, but I travel from cities to cities, from countries to countries, and I experience the transportation sector. When I am in London versus when I am in Taipei, I experience two different sets of transportation systems. Just for example, both in London and Taipei and every other city that I travel by the road, by tube, on metro, and therefore I experience cities, systems, one of which being how I travel. What I have really seen are many things in parallel, but let me say about two things in particular. One is the kind of the transportation system I travel in, and after that what I feel about my energy, productivity and quantities. So it's very, very important that when cities are built, it's very important to also consider the beating heart of the city. And beating heart of the city are not just the people, but how the city is going to treat people when they travel. And I take you back to 2015, when I did a consulting for Rapid Metro in Gurgaon. A very dear friend of mine, Raju Banga, came as managing director, and he was really facing a lot of challenge with regard to how Gurgaon Metro was faring. They had multiple challenges in parallel. There was no takeoff. They had problem with regard to land. So major company was involved. I will not really name the company. And then they were bleeding. They were not making money. And there were many other problems, and they really wanted to either sell off Rapid Metro at that particular point in time, or try and figure it out if there could be some innovative arrangement through which they could probably make it happen. So the study was given to me when I was working as the executive director for the UN in Delhi. So the study began, and we began to sort of meet with people. And meeting with people not only meant commuters, but police people, people in civic services, people who were catering to logistics of that particular Rapid Metro. Three things came to the light. One, last mile connectivity is very, very critical. If you do not really have it, people are less likely to board your train or your bus or anything, because they will find it very hard to travel from the place where they are to the place where they want to go. So last mile connectivity. Safety and security is the second part. And I was told by the then Commissioner of Police, Bates, But look, the moment the darkness descends on the city of Gurgaon, people stop traveling because the moment they get down, there are pickpockets running around. The bad elements which are lurking for people who could probably become a prey to them. And therefore, safety and security in a recent experience is very important. Let me very quickly take you to what Matt was talking about parking. In the city of Taipei, one of the best cities I have ever been to. It's a 25 million people city, very well organized city. The metro is among the best in the world, very cheap, very convenient, very comfortable. Last mile connectivity is available. They make it a point to give last mile connectivity wherever you get down at. And finally, this city can rival any city in Europe. And what I saw when it came to parking, for instance, they've got volunteers to help people. So you have a limited space, 25 million people, city of Taipei, small place, but then the vehicles that you have are mind-boggling. While people use public transport system, but then they also, because it's a very rich city, $36,000 per capita, 3 times more than that of China. So people will have a car at their disposal. And what I saw was fascinating, and I think Akhlezi, please consider it. There were volunteers to help people park their vehicles. The turnaround was so quick that everything was being monetized minute by minute. So they could get more vehicles in, and they could probably get more vehicles out. It was happening because they had experienced volunteers. Here when I drive my own car, I find it very hard to navigate. I can't really turn my car around, especially when I have to use back gear and go backwards to park my car. Can I really have a volunteer to help me out? And that could not only make my life more easy, but that could also mean that you are monetizing my time and the time which I would otherwise consume in parking my vehicle and not be able to navigate. So I think city of Taipei is one of the best cities, and those of you who have been there can experience. But I tell you, this is the only city which I feel is the place to go and live. And I can live my entire life in the city of Taipei. I have been all over, but Africa, for instance. I stayed in Africa for 3 months at least now. They are trying to work around a system of parking, monetizing the whole transportation, supply chain in the city. So what you were saying is what it is. If you can really mix and match supply and demand, and put that system as a beating heart of the city system, you will make everything go on very well. So one of the things which you might really consider a place you're doing is in skill and training and capacity building. Knowledge is very important. It's very, very important because knowledge is power, and once we have it, we use it better. But then the skilling is all about how you drive, how you prevent accidents on the road. And everybody who drives must have some kind of first aid training. I can tell you, once I saw somebody meeting in an accident, lying on the road. Much as I wanted to help the person, I couldn't. And by the time the vehicle came, the ambulance came, this man was dead, on the road. I think technical skilling and capacity building is very, very critical. But equally critical is the fact that how do we really empower an ordinary person up on the road, driving the car or a scooter or whatever, being equipped with some basic civic sense and some skill which could probably come to the rescue of somebody who might have met with an accident and might get supported. So I think while the skilling is very important, technical one is very critical. How we have score and driving, that's very important. Look at the soft side as well. Volunteers on the road. People equipped with first aid training and capacity building. And finally, how do you really convert transportation system into a very well managed system which becomes the beating heart of the city? I mean, that has to be pretty efficient and, working and functional and so on and so forth. And when we do things with South Asian University, let's think about things which are not being done anywhere else. If anything which is very regular will not really take us anywhere. So when we do it, let's try and think about it. Why can't South 900 students, from 7 countries be trained on areas which are softer side, which will also, make them more sensible and more civic when they are really up on the road, driving and non-driving, both. And that should be the ballpark thing which we could consider. So thank you very much for inviting, and whatever little I have been learning while traveling is what I thought I must speak and say that, look, let's try and consider and think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience and also the skill development and the capacity building and bringing some difference between while collaborating or while working out to the feasibility study or considering the skill development along with the SAU especially. And in your leadership, sir, certainly I think we move forward and we will have some different programs. We will do it, sir. Thank you very much. That's commitment from the ITS India. Thank you very much.
So could I just add a point following on from
Sure, man. Sure.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that we this year we began with on-street parking management enforcement in Ghana, and we've been working on that project for 4 years. Actually, COVID happened, but we now have the on-street parking management contract in Accra, in the CBD, Central Business District, and we are starting to clear previously very congested roads. The parking spaces were marked out, but typically by 6 o'clock every parking space had a hawker on it throwing down their wares. But we, with enforcement, have been able to clear these streets, and it is increasing the urban mobility, literally. We were given the powers to. The first point is we were given the power to enforce. So that was taken away from the police, which was the point I was trying to make. And we are beginning to clear up this area. And so they've given us that kind of authority, which is key. But yeah, it's starting to work. And it's great to see.
Matt, if I could probably say one more thing, just to build up on what you said. I was in Congo just about a few weeks back. What is happening is very interesting in the city of Congo is that they have a lot of copper mines, lithium mines, and when those mines are up and running, if you're traveling by road, you're going to get people looting, copper. So what Americans are going to do is they're going to pump a lot of money in and trying to connect Congo with Sudan, not by a road, but by a rail. And on the road itself, they're trying to not only decongest the roads, but also trying to have the inbuilt system of parking in the road. So while the roads are there, because they know what time to what time is the peak, and then what time to what time is non-peak, and then they try to put the value accordingly, and alongside the road, there are systems where people could come, pay the money, park the car, and move on. So, fascinating. Africa is passing through transformation. City of Cameroon, Yaoundé, for instance.
Great. So, sir,
so we will take it offline, Matt.
Offline certainly. And
we are running out of
great. Akash Sinani on the next generation topic. Mr. Akash Sinha is the CEO of Taxidel, and they are in the next generation knowledge solutions, GNS and GNSS, and he will be giving the sort of the story, the India story, that's how it is become. He's one of the mastermind, and he's one of the person who drive it. So, see, sir.
Hi everyone, my name is Akash. I am the CEO of Texidel India. Texidel is one of the system integrators. We provide tolling and advanced traffic management system. So fortunately, I was also a part of the GNSS which started in India and part of the pilot that happened on Hisar Panipat project. So let's start the story from 2013 when the ETC came into picture. So the FASTag was introduced in 2013, and then after 3 years, we all understood that this pilot and other pilots which were running on the FASTag, because the quantity of FASTag was not very much, there were a lot of wastage of road of the particular toll lanes. So the technology came into picture called as hybrid tolling. Since then, we are having this hybrid tolling. And I think Akhilesh Saab was part of that hybrid tolling when it came into picture in 2016-17, I think. And then a lot of new technology came up into the tolling itself. Now recently, and even I think 4 years back, Metro was doing one of the projects for MLSF, if I'm not wrong, in 2016, I think. Yes. So now NHAI has come up and the technology has come up for the multi-lane free flow. And also another technology which is coming up is the GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite System, wherein the vehicle doesn't have to stop. But because we are Indian and we have a mentality not paying majorly on the roads, so right now it will go as a hybrid GNSS system. So wherein the toll plaza will still exist. This is my understanding and the knowledge that I have gathered from a lot of experts. So this is a normal toll plaza which I am just trying to show you a slide. And you have a connected server to it. This is a present system that we all deal into as on hybrid system. And then you have a patch of acquirer bank, NPCI and the issuer bank. This is I think it's a very old, from day one this technology is coming, wherein you share your tag details with the acquirer bank. Acquirer sends it to NPCI, NPCI sends the same to issuer bank. My understanding, this is not a right concept, but anyways, this is a concept as on date. Now let's talk about the hybrid GNSS system, which presently we will be seeing very soon. There was one particular pilot happened on Hisar Panipat stretch, and the second is happening on Bangalore Mysore. So these are the two known by me, which are happening. Both we are doing the main software, the central software. IHMCL refers this software, they call it as a toll charger. So let's consider multiple highways. So you have a toll plaza, you have a highway, on that highway you have a toll plaza, you will have multiple toll plazas, you will have multiple highways, and you will have a highway where you will have a gantry also, where you will have the ANPR number plate equipment installed on it. So you can see multiple highways are there and multiple vehicles are running on those highways. Now what is happening is that there is a central server presently also which works on the OBU. All the onboard unit of GNSS, GPS devices, they are centrally connected to a server, and there is an association also of this OBU which have a central system. So present system which NHAI is planning to take over is they are taking the same server and they are connecting all their vehicles, all the vehicles whoever will go on the OBU, they will connect it through the satellite and you can see all these vehicles are connected to this particular server. So regular ping will come to the central server. Central server will then talk to the match mapping system. So there is another software associated which we call as match mapping software, which presently internationally all major companies like B-Mobile, SkyToll and other companies are doing. Now what they do in this, that once you come on any particular stretch which is already a GNSS stretch and you have an OBU, onboard unit of GPS, which is connected to NHAI, this fast track program, because NHAI will have the same fast track program. They are continuing on the same fast track program. So there is no separate program. Same fast track program, same wallet will continue on this. So now you can understand when you are using the same fast track program, same wallet. So it has to be a hybrid system. Match mapping system now will be connected to the central charging software. So I am referring this as a central charging software. IHMCL and NHAI considered this as a toll charger software. Now this software, they are integrating this software with the match mapping software. I have shown it as a separate software. So match mapping system is going to, as soon as you enter into any particular highway, you will immediately be pinged with this match mapping system. They will take your data, means your OBU detail, which will be a unique ID. This ID will be shared with the central charging software, that there is a vehicle which has entered into this highway. This information has to be passed to central charging software because this toll plaza already has a system which is already linked. And if the same vehicle crosses, because every vehicle will have a fast tag. So even though if you have an OBU, you have to have a particular fast tag also with you. If you do not have a fast tag and only have an OBU, you cannot cross toll plaza. So this is a very important point that I am sharing. This central software is also connected to your all the gantries for the ANPR and then with the banking software. So this is the entire program right now with this hybrid GNSS system. Additionally, which is missing right now with the government is that they are not looking into the weighing in motion part. Initially, when weighing in motion came into existence in last 10 years on the highway, there was a very big sound that exponential problem creator is the vehicles which are not proper or overweighted, and we have to have a WIM. So WIM came into picture, which was a slow speed weighing in motion. Then a medium speed weighing in motion came into picture, and now the NHAI or IHMCL right now they are not considering this particular topic, which is very important because major OBU player will be the fleet management teams. So the bigger vehicle, the more overloading system, and so that is very, very important that a WIM should be installed here. And the present WIM should also be integrated with this toll plaza, so that existence is going out. Now it's important to highlight various navigation systems in the world. So Navig we have it in India, GLONASS is Russian, Galileo is Europe, GPS is USA, BIDO is China, QZSS is Japan. And apart from India, already successfully installed GNSS is done in Germany, Russia, Slovakia, Singapore, they are right now doing it. Belgium is already done, Poland, and India, which we are whatever is under discussion. We are first, as Akhilesh sir said, in the terms that in India, cars will also have this OBU. So internationally, it is only for trucks, and they don't use it in car because of the privacy. So we have benefits and challenges for hybrid GNSS versus free flow, because these are the two topics people are talking about. Whether they should go with GNSS anyway they are coming up, and they are also trying to have one pilot on MLFF, multi-lane free flow also. In hybrid GNSS, the toll plaza will remain there. So there will be no change in the toll plaza. You will have two dedicated lanes for GNSS. Free flow, you don't need a toll plaza. But the bigger problem is I will not pay while crossing. We have seen this on Atal project in Mumbai. When they initiated that project with only MLFF, there was only 30% people were paying, 70 were crossing free. So they started putting barriers at the exit. So anyways, we are, I think, not matured enough till now to have this MLFF because of this problem that how you are going to collect the money. Accountability of people paying or not paying, as I told you in tolling, in the hybrid GNSS, you have that because end of the day, you also have to pass the toll plaza. If you are not passing any toll plaza, there will be a deduction which will show your negative balance, and whenever you are going to the next, this balance will be deducted. Hybrid GNSS is pay as you travel. So presently NHAI is planning to free 20 kilometers of the highway. They are not going to take any charges. But after that, they are going to make the charges. But free flow, still you can just replace a toll plaza, put a gantry, and you will have a free flow system. That means you don't need to place it at multiple locations. You can use it as a substitute of toll plaza. A bigger problem with why internationally GNSS is not coming on car is because of the privacy policy. Because you are going to be tracked 100%. So when you are going to be tracked 100%, I don't want to be tracked 100%. I have my own privacy. So this is the issue of hybrid GNSS or GNSS, and in free flow, it's not required. GNSS, presently the main problem of toll plaza is because we don't have good type of RFID readers. When you don't have good type of RFID readers, what happens is the barrier will take time to get open. People are sent this RFID stickers at their home. You can order it online. You put it anywhere you want. You are not aware of where to put, how to put, and all because of all these problems, and because the RFID stickers are not of very good quality. Because immediately there was a huge requirement of tax, and because of that, everybody was selling it, and the quality became bad. So RFID quality has to be very good, and camera quality has to be very good. These are the two basic things. If you have this, GNSS hybrid will run. So this is a basic photograph I am showing, wherein you can have a plaza. On the side you can have two free flow lanes, and this can work. So that's it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request now Siti Bhatti.
Thank you, sir. I can talk about what you share. So a lot of accidents are not completely because of the way the roads are engineered or the ecosystem exists. National highways and state highways have got 56% contribution in the road accidents, which is considered to be way better roads than in usual village roads or town roads. Now, one topic that I would like to highlight to everybody here is we are talking about electric vehicles. We are going very aggressive on it. There was a study done by AXA Insurance in Europe a couple of years back. It says that electric vehicles are 50% more prone to the accident than their combustion engine counterparts. I'm not sure now whether we all know about this, but the more electrification means the more accidents if we go in the current phase. And the reason that they called out was sharp acceleration, because these vehicles, EVs, have got very sharp acceleration and the drivers are not really used to that. Second, the weight of the vehicle itself, because it's heavy, the battery is heavy. Now, the passenger sitting inside the vehicle will be safe, but if this vehicle meets with an accident with someone else, the other person is not safe because of the weight. The sound level was the third area which is called out in this report. In fact, in Europe, some of the countries have mandated to have an artificial sound of 20 decibels in the vehicle just to ensure that the pedestrians, cyclists, and everybody else can figure out whether there's a vehicle coming. So that's another thing I want to highlight. Now, with all of this changing, we firmly believe that an alerted and a trained driver is extremely important. We talk about black spots, gray spots, and I would really call out here that despite all of the challenges, the driver is alerted, is focused on the road, a large number of accidents can still be reduced. So that's where we are heavily focused on, and we have got ADAS plus driver monitoring systems. In simple words, it's a smart dash cam which is placed on the windshield and monitors any behavior that can lead to an accident, whether it is overspeeding, whether it's maneuvering, whether it is drowsiness of the driver, fatigue, or using phone, seatbelt not buckled up. Now we have the rule, we have to have the seatbelt buckled up, but how do they buckle it up? Behind their back, right? How can you monitor it, right? That's where the technology can play a significant role. And I would also like to inform you that all this is on the preventive side. How can you prevent accidents? We as a company are also moving towards predictive side, where we can really predict based on all the data that is recovered that what's going to happen in the next 2-3 seconds. That technology will be available very, very soon. In the market, we are heavily working on it. We can look at people's eye, eye people, and before a person feels drowsy. You cannot know. But 15 minutes or 20 minutes prior to that, because of the people dilation, we can figure out that there was a policy, or you will be drowsy, or you will be drunk, right? All this can be assessed by a piece of technology. And all of it, what I just spoke about on the preventive side is what the progress, and we should be launching that very soon. So we are very, very aggressive about the road safety part. Now, what we do with all this information, we have driving scoring algorithm, which calculates your driving score based on all the behavior that you show on the road. Now, if I look at it in Delhi, if you go to a license, there's a good amount of testing done. You have to show your driving skills. You have to share your knowledge about the traffic rules and all of that. But my sir, the way I will perform there in that environment versus the way I drive on the road in real time will be very different, right? So this driving score really captures the way you're driving in reality on the road all the time. So you would have something that this driver in reality is a good driver or not a good driver. Now, what the other thing we're looking at, penalizing bad driver behavior is required. Still is required, but we also want the carrot part. If you show good behavior, we recognize that as well. Our technology recognizes that as well. You apply sudden brake on the road, right? It will be part of the bad behavior. But if there's someone popped up in front of your vehicle, a child, or a vehicle, or another vehicle, and then you apply the brake, will be positive point for that, and that's a deal breaker. You can not just reduce your scoring because of the negative behavior, but you can also increase it by showing positive behavior. Stopping on the road signs, on red lights, you earn points for that. So that's how the companies are utilizing it. Shipkumar is calling me, sir.
Yeah, I was just trying to remind you of that last week.
Okay, so I don't have the video, but I want to show one video which you may use that how Shell is using it, how they maintain the decentralized safety unit where all the vehicles across India are monitored in one single control center. And the way we see, these kind of control centers, it becomes a regulation for all the companies, all the commercial vehicle companies. Now this can integrate with your centralized IPS. And then government will have all the data. It can also integrate with ELAB, right? As of now, the traffic authorities go to the accident spot and they try to find out the reason through the onlookers, to the drivers, but the reality is doing something else. With this technology, which is capturing the video all the time, you will have a real view of what was the reason of these accidents. So that can significantly make a lot of difference. Emergency response units can be automatically informed because all this is connected. Vehicle transport officers can leverage it to understand whether this person's license should be renewed or not, or if it's rejected. Insurance premiums can definitely be impacted. In fact, in Europe and US, 2 insurance companies have partnered with us to implement this. So we are very bullish about it. We have got good adoption across Europe has made some mandates, and I'm sure we as a country in India will also have some kind of regulations to really make it a mandate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Amit. Thank you very much. That is, yes, it's going to be a game changer. And now I'll request Jihan Kotwal. We worked together on a pilot led by World Economic Forum that time. The same concept where Jihan has demonstrated with the safe driving score. Actually, on ground, I was working on a commercial vehicle. Over to you, Jihan. You can explain it better.
So, I think all of us are here for more or less the same agenda. Essentially, what we're trying to showcase, and I'll just share my screen, I'll try to speak it good, because I think I have 10 minutes. Can you see my screen? Yes. Visible? Yes. Okay. So, yeah. So, I represent an organization called unveils. We have a mobile app that helps truck drivers reduce road accidents, trucks and buses. Essentially, what I want to showcase here is what we are looking at building for a country as a whole, where we have a singular standardized scoring system. And all of you know this, but predominantly accidents are happening due to human error. And truck drivers, which were 65% of the running on these highways, they don't have any sort of career progression, financial literacy, insurance, even respect for that matter. So if we can create a monitoring system which actually enables them as their own vehicle driver getting an individual score similar to their civil score, that helps the logistics industry as a whole, and also in terms of public safety, like Amit mentioned, through the licensing system, etc. We can create a way where every individual driver has a standard score. Whether it's a GPS company or it's a telematics company, all of them follow the same standards. So the stakeholders in this ecosystem would be truckers, cargo owners, GPS providers, more and public institutes and IDS kind of forums as well, where essentially all the driving standards are formalized. Currently, right now, it's not scalable because there's a lot of different stakeholders. Everyone's having their own telematics product. It's all scattered, it's all working in silos, and it's not a very scalable function. So one of the ways that we are proposing to do it is essentially a score is assigned per trip based on the driving habit of the driver, and each one, as it gets accumulated, a final score or a weighted average, so to speak, model works out. So essentially, the kilometers, the frequency of violations, complete how much of the SDS, as we call it, safe driving score, is calculated on a positive and negative scores. Rewards and punishment will work out on a model where, depending on the way he's driving, he can actually get incentivized for driving safely or unsafely from the transporter themselves. So more or less tracking, control tower, dashboards, all these can be provided, but fundamental thing is that every individual driver should have a driver score, and that's essentially what we are proposing. The idea to be that everybody brings their resources together and says that okay, these are the learnings we've had from our individual companies. And for India, like how we built India stack for UPI, Aadhaar, etc., we come up with the SDS score, which is the railway. And on top of that, all of the companies merge their scoring keys. That's the proposal that I have for you today. Please feel free to ask any questions. I have not showcased the app or the technology. I feel that it's agnostic, anybody can have the solution. But what we all need to agree on is that every individual driver should have their own score. This enables better career prospects for him also, and he's incentivized to then drive safely. Otherwise, there is no, truckers don't really care about safety. They're concerned about making more money, saving money, and looking after their family. I come from a trucking background myself. We have a fleet of 150 trucks. We're building an EV fleet of 1,000 trucks. So I can tell you from experience during the 10 years that I spent in the business that predominantly truck drivers are one of the big ones that cause a lot of the deaths that are happening on highways. So I wish to make sure that all of us work towards getting that reduced, and happy to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, dear sir, your ideas for me.
Thank you.
So much for this opportunity. Thank you, dear sir, your ideas for me.
Thank you. Thanks, Jan. Actually, what you rightly said, we need NJS tech on number one, and then safe driving score is mandatory like civil score. It should be, because people are with vehicles on the road, which is a shared space. Many other people are there. So thanks very much, Dr.
Now may I request Sri R.S. Singh. He is a Deputy Director General in the Department of the Telecom and in the TEC, Telecom Engineering Center, and he is looking after the IoT and the applications. Sir, Singh sir.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon all of you. Basically, I'm in charge of the IoT division in Telecom Engineering Center. Basically, we are doing testing and certification and standardization work for all the IoT products. So, in the past also, we have testing and certification for tracking device. As far as transport sector is concerned, we do testing and certification for various devices, and one of the tracking devices is part of the transport sector. Further, we have been working in the intelligent transport system. We have released a report in 2023. It's a very resourceful material. You can have a look at it. It is already hosted in the TC's website. One thing which I would like to highlight basically is one M2M standard. One M2M standard, it's a basically end-to-end solution for one M2M, for providing one M2M solutions. All one M2M. So this one M2M standard has been adopted as national standards. It has already been adopted. So, we see many of the use cases coming up in transport sector also. So, if we don't follow any standard, means the solutions will be siloed and proprietary based solutions. Sometimes it's difficult later on to scale it up or to ensure security or interoperability thing. So, since we are just in the nascent stage and we are coming up with various use cases in IT's domain, transport sector, I will suggest that one M2M standards should be followed from the initial itself, so that we have a very standard-based solution. And it's very easy. Even CDOT, I would like to point out here that CDOT has done a very remarkable work and it has already hosted a platform, CCSP platform, wherein the startups and innovators can test their solutions. And they handhold in implementing this one M2M solution. So this is one thing, and the next is MORTH has recently constituted a task force for development and implementation of intelligent transport system in the country. And I'm part of it, and we'll be working with all the stakeholders, all the representatives from the concerned departments, organizations, and we'll certainly come up with a recommendation which will be which will facilitate this sector and facilitate transport sector to grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for leading the very important committees and also working on the standards. Now I request Sri Sunilji, who is a president of the IIT, to take 2 minutes and give us some guidance and support. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shimon, for the opportunity. Very glad to be in the session, listening to various new technologies, developers and intelligence for the intelligent transport system. I've been given a very short time, but I'd like to just highlight one of the paradigm shifts with the processing sector related to the ITS. We have got a direct-to-mobile processing technology, wherein we have got 2 communications. One is the unicast to the mobile towers, and the second is the broadcast to the television towers. Now, on the highways, you need a seamless connectivity. Then only this intelligence system will work. And we have got bandwidth issues in different parts of the country because the fiber are still developing and it takes some time to develop. So, the technology is that you keep on receiving the signals on the mobile to the telco networks. When there is a overloading, when there is a heavy loading of the video traffic and all, then your communication will shift from the mobile towers to the broadcast towers, so that you get a seamless connectivity all throughout. So having this is a artificial intelligence switch, wherein your communication in case of peak traffic will be shifted from the mobile towers to the broadcast towers, and whenever the traffic will be less, then it will resume back. So that the mobile communication, which is meant basically for the voice, remains seamless. There is no clogging, there is no jamming, and there is no power option. So there is one technology which has come. IIT Kanpur has already made a tried in Delhi and tried in Bangalore, and it has been given approval to try in other countries also. It would be a disruptive technology and very well suited to the intelligent operating system, and I think the over-the-air software updates can be happening in the vehicles moving cars. The emergency alerts, the warnings, the key alerts at the main points, highways, checkposts and all, the toll operations, all this can take place with the digital technology. So this was just a brief to tell how the DPM can augment the intelligent operating system in its function or in its evolution around the technologies. Thank you.
Very important thing. Very important thing, sir, because the entire system is working on the backbone. And presently with our system in India, whatever we develop, if our backbone is not good, nothing will work. So in India, this is the basic problem with NHI also, that the backbone, they give it to the vendor and say, you manage or you take the network. And if this was one more of my point, but because of the shortage of time, I could not say this, that I think because you people are here, you should take this initiative when an MOU should be signed in, like for the networking part, the backbone should be signed between the government bodies or the networking companies, so that when we provide the technology part, the backbone is 100% secure. Because we are good into the technology part, but the backbone, when we start talking to any communication company, they may not entertain us. Today, Airtel may not entertain us, BSNL not may entertain us because of a very small part that we are taking from them. But if a centralized MOU is signed with the government, it becomes a very big part directly taken care by the government, and then the technology can come in.
And a very important aspect of this is what Ashish told. This is a technology developed in India by IIT Kanpur, which has got the ideas studied in India. And once it is on full scale, it can be exported to other parts of the world, wherein the country, India, will be only 10 years. This is also an additional point.
Sir, every month we have a webinar, and in that webinar we also call the international expert. So, if you allow, we can plan a webinar specifically on this topic, and you can be one of the the expert or the speaker. I know that you are doing a lot of work on this area, and then we can have another, maybe some international expert. So if you allow us, we can plan, sir. Yeah, because it requires a lot of detailing, and it will help us, sir. We'll plan. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we have Dr. S. Velu Murugan. He is one of the renowned ITX expert. He is the chief scientist and the deputy director at the CRRI. We are fortunate enough to have you here, sir. So maybe next few words from you also will help and guide us, sir.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank especially Akash for inviting me to participate in this first edition of this ITS India Forum. I'm very honored to be part of it in attending it, and also we at CRRI, we happen to do a very small pilot project for using the ADAS system. That is one out of the various ITS works we started doing in 2007 initially for the video instant detection system and also parking management system. So some of the things that we have implemented for the Palika Bazaar at that time with our initiative for the Palika Bazaar underground parking system. And subsequently, we are involved in the making of the smart parking management system manual also. I happen to be a part of it. And especially coming to the actual implementation part of it in the recent past is that advanced driver assistance system. We try to use bus as the probe vehicle for understanding, like what was told by Mr. Amit Kumar or we try to showcase it by using bus as the probe vehicle in one city environment, the city of Nagpur, and also in an inter-urban corridor, that is in the couple of three major highways. We try to showcase it for the ADAS system as well as DMS system, what we just told for the smart dashboard. So that we try to utilize it, and actually we found that this data can be a useful one. One can use it ADAS system first and foremost for understanding the locations on the corridor in a more effective manner, and also to understand what are the locations which can turn out to be a black spot in the foreseeable future. That way we identify for the city of Nagpur, and similarly in the three national highways in the state of Telangana. So my only experience from whatever the small pilots we did, my request is that we should make it these systems, if possible, whether it is as the dashboard one which Amit has shown, in an integrated manner by having DMS as well as ADAS, can be made as the one which to be as a manufacturer point of view, and the OEM people should be able to include it within their costing system and make it which for new vehicles are going to come up for all type of vehicles, be it a truck or be it a bus or be it a car. So that the safety on our Indian roads certainly can be enhanced. Like because we are going to see this kind of vehicle explosions going to happen in our country, but this OEM maybe should be convinced to include it as part of the costing thing, and can be made as one of the important safety component for enhancing safety on the roads. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much. We can work on it, how it can be basically the scaling can be done or how it can be implemented. So we offer to work with you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So my apologies, we have got about say 30 minutes of the extended period. Sinha sir has been always, so he has been mentoring, and whenever we go to him, always we get such a guidance and such a support reliably. And one of the person that who is providing us the mentoring, and always keen to listen to how this ITS can be used in order to, that 8 to 9% of the hit which is there because of the congestion or the road accidents or because of the overloading or because of the logistics delay, which is huge. And every year we are losing about 9 to 10% of that. So even if the 35% or 30% of this can be improved, it will be a huge impact on our economy. So, sir has been guiding us. We have been discussing very often, taking his guidance, and he's the one who is basically, that he's the advisor and who is heading this vehicle, that EV and also the transportation and the whole mobility sector. Basically, he's the person that who is heading it, and have a wide experience in before that he had wide experience in the railways as well. So I'll request him to guide us and basically that how we can move forward further. His word of wisdom will be highly appreciated, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So at the onset, let me congratulate ITS India Forum for this annual summit. And Ms. Akhilesh Srivastava and Dr. Shiv and his team, they are doing exceptionally brilliant, I would say. Mr. B.N. Puri, he is just staying rock solid behind them. And every time in the new convening, I'm watching that new and new faces, new and new experts are being, stitched into the system. I have taken long notes, so I will definitely share it with the officials, affiliation, doctorship. I would say that many things, many of the learnings that we have during these, convenings, they must be put on your website. They must be put on your website. Sorry, it's probably. Yes, so they must be put on the website so that that keeps on becoming a kind of strong knowledge base and learnings. I would say that out of these convenings, that would be really
the way it is growing. Initially, at the we had to stop the membership. Now we are reopening the membership, and somebody told us to start from 3rd October, the auspicious day. So now we'll be reopening the membership, and will be a big community will be created. Rest assured, that's the 100%. And second thing you said parking. Yes, parking will be is one of the standing committees focusing on that. That committee's entire role is to look into the existing policies, find out, identify the gaps in the policies, and what best can be done to improve the parking. The way it is going, obviously, it's going to be a very, very serious challenge. Apart from these, the parking, there are other areas also we are working and will be taking forward. But before I close and say thanks to everyone, I think Standard Chigara want to say something. Just quickly.
Thank you. Today we got a new topic, driving school. Not earlier discussed forum. And I wish that in this gentleman who was explaining about this. So why not further? Why not go? Because safety is a concern for everyone, and our truckers and commercial vehicles are 2.5%. So we should take up this issue in overall mandate.
Yeah. Certainly, thank you very much.
Anil Chigara sir, can you come there here, sir, for a minute? Adachi, you also. For our annual progress, we have to come up with our story. So we request sir Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our teachers in spite of his busy schedule. He has come and spent a significant time with us. And in his speech, we were really looking for his speech, but because of the paucity of time, I understand. He cut short of the points, and we did certainly take the points from him. So he always, I also know the points, but the way he knows, I'll make a note. So it's really wonderful. So, sir, thank you very much. We will come to you and we take the notes. Our co-chair and our mentor, Sri V.M. Purisa, he has always been guiding us, and most of the time we try to review each and everything, but we are not basically, I think we need to put more efforts to do. Sunil sir, the president of the IT, he has recently, in fact, officially in his office, he could not sit. And as soon as he got established, he has to run to Pune, and number of, in spite of so much of the heavy rain, and he was running from one college to the another college, and such a grand functions were there, and everybody was excited to listen to him. He's a very visionary and the transformational leader, and in leadership, and maybe some of you may be aware, in his leadership, I am working as a vice president of the IET. Thank you very much, sir. Singh Singh and Amit Srivastavi, thank you very much. And from CRRI, from the different, that all the experts from the SAT University, which is SA University, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to each and everyone whosoever come, and without you, that we cannot move in this journey far ahead. And we need your support, we seek your support, we need the guidance. Thank you very much. Thanks, sir. Thanks, media. The media, the friends. You are the one. That you have to help us, guide us. Because we are in a very young stage. Thank you. And I do it. Thank you, Ayush sir, and our director, our members, our staff, the ITS staff who has worked day and night, in order to come up this, and the amount of work, tremendous work we have done in 1 year. Is really amazing. I think you will find a lot of good updates we have given. Recently, I have been to Dubai for about 6 days of the ITS World Congress, and our number of partners, Sachin was there, and number of other partners, that we have proposed. In 30 years, first time we had been to the ITS Convention, we have been at our side, and sir, we will also be heading to the US, and we request you that, sir, to seek your support, and if you are there, then I think we will give us motivation. And so, sir, we need you as understand and see your blessing. Thank you very much. Thanks, sir. So now we have a IT that's ready. I think it's much awaited. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.